In crypto, everyone is trying to find the coveted dough button. But experienced traders know that this button simply does not exist. But there are other tools with the help of which you can achieve your cherished goal. Today I will tell you the main principle of my successful trades, which you can use to increase your deposit up to the numbers you determine yourself. And be sure to watch this video till the end. At the end of this video, I will give the top 3 exchanges with the best conditions for overclocking your deposit. Recently on my Telegram channel, I conducted a public challenge. The task of this challenge was to show that with the help of crypto trading from $100, you can also start making good money. I had exactly 1 week, and I started with $100. All my trades I also published in my Telegram channel. If we look at the screen, we can see that the start $100. Next is a series of posts where I publish and tell absolutely about every deal that I opened, will open, and what were the results. Naturally, there were plus results, and plus deals and minus deals. But in the end, this challenge I closed in plus $80 for 1 week. The actual return on deposit was plus 80%. This final post here is plus 83%, and a complete reflection of the entire deposit. When I conducted this challenge, I followed the tactic of accelerating the deposit. The essence of this tactic is very simple. When you have a trading strategy, you need to calculate how many maximum number of losing trades you had on the history. That is, I have a certain strategy with which I have been trading for a long time. Naturally, in this strategy, there are both profitable trades and losing trades, both profitable months and losing ones. But that is not the main point. The main point is how many losing trades there were in a row. Because with a proper risk management, for example 5% per trade, it is necessary to make 20 losing trades in a row in order to lose the whole deposit. According to my history, according to the history of all diaries, I counted that in the worst period I had 7 losses in a row. That is, I made 7 trades in a row at a loss. If a beginner makes a large number of losing trades, he can usually act intuitively. That is, traders always have a strategy. A strategy does not imply break-even trading. There are always losses. But if there is no strategy, then the actions are not systematic, but chaotic and random today entered like this, tomorrow like this, the day after tomorrow like this, and accordingly, there can be a large number of losing trades. But again, any strategy should be tested, and when there is a strategy, certain tests are conducted and it is looked at the distance during all trades, how much was the maximum number of losses. And if a beginner has a strategy, he can simply look at this indicator with the help of tests or with the help of his trading history. Futures have leverage, which allows us to freeze a small amount of money but buy a large amount of coins. I mean, here's when I was doing the challenge. I had $100, and accordingly, if I just bought coins for $100, then there the increase of some coin in 5% would give me income for only $5. And if I buy with a leverage, but competently put a stop loss, then I can buy $1,000 of coins, because I take a leverage, and the increase of 5% gives me already $50. And that is, to my $100, $50 is 50% of income. Accordingly, only on futures on the spot it is impossible to accelerate the deposit. But how to correctly set stop losses on futures, and how to choose the right leverage? I tell you in my separate video on this channel, the link to it in the description. In my strategy, I counted that in my history I allowed 7 losses in a row. And it means that I can increase the risk on the trade when overclocking my deposit, so that if I have 7 losses in a row, I will not lose my deposit. So, for example, if I have a deposit of $100, I take the risk per trade 10%, that is $10 for each loss trade. When I make 7 losses in a row, I lose only $70. That is, I still have $30 of reserve, on which I can enter the next deal and make a profit. And accordingly, this is the tactic I use. I just take a risk of 10% per trade. If we go to a compound interest calculator and model our situation, we get the following numbers. For example, we have an initial deposit of $100. We take a period of 12 months, and the yield for the period will be as follows. That is, if at standard risks the profitability of my strategy is 10 to 20% per month, then if I increase the risk by 5 times, the profitability is 50 to 100% per month. Because when the risk increases, the profit increases. That is, when I increase the risk, I buy more coins and then sell more coins and earn more if their price increases. So let's take the minimum. Let's just take that the return for one period at the acceleration of the deposit will be 50%. This is more than realistic. As a rule, 70-100% is closed there and so on. And let's just see what the calculator will give us. What numbers? And this is what we get. That is, if we every month on the tactic of dispersal of the deposit make transactions according to the strategy, do not violate the strategy, and earn 50% per month, then on the 12th month, our deposit will be $12,000, almost $13,000 from $100, provided that we do not take out profits. That is, every month we reinvest back the profit received, and accordingly 10% of the profit already received on the transaction will be more. That is, in the beginning we have from $100 10% risk per transaction was $10. We earned $50 on top. We do not touch them, we leave them on the deposit, and our next deposit for the next month is $150. And the risk per transaction is $15, because 10% of $150 is $15. And since our risk per transaction has already increased, that is, more precisely in the monetary equivalent of not a percentage, but in money, then our profit also grows, and we get in money already $75, and then we have the next month $225, and from them we take the risk of $22, 10%, and thus accumulate the very difficult percentage as a snowball, and accordingly, we will have exponential growth of the deposit on the tactics of acceleration. The most difficult thing here is not to fall into the so-called emotional tilde and somehow violate the strategy, because the risks are great. If with $100 it seems that nothing is wrong and you can continue, because there are no big risks, then when you swing $100, for example, up to $5,000, up to $3,000, you will want to withdraw all the profit to save it, and accordingly, here you can simply interrupt the tactics of deposit acceleration and, accordingly, then move more conservatively. But the compound interest calculator shows us that only for 12 months we get to 10, even getting a little more, $13,000. And it is necessary to hold out for 12 months, to trade clearly according to the strategy, with clear discipline, with strict risk management, and not to allow violation of the strategy, so that there were not more than 7 losses in a row. Or in your case, you need to look at what your strategy shows, because any mistake is an extra loss. And here any extra loss can be a loss for the deposit. Write in the comments, what is your current goal for increasing your deposit, i.e., how much you would like to have on your account, and how much you would like to start with, and to make sure that the most important rules of risk management are always in front of your eyes and you are not tempted to break them. I've prepared them for you in a special memo in my Telegram channel. Follow the link and save it to yourself. And as promised, the top 3 exchanges with the best conditions for deposit acceleration are OKEx, Bybit, and BitGet. Personally, I trade on them. Again, you can find all the links to these exchanges in the description below this video. They have the best conditions, quite convenient trading, quite clear calculator where you can select leverage and quite low commissions. In general, all the links are in the description.